Welcome back to the channel, and today's task is pretty simple. Build a very small but very functional and fun motorcycle. That's it. It's a pretty simple idea, but I don't think it's gonna be easy because I want this thing to be like my drift car, where it has just a certain purpose, a certain goal, feel, and vibe that I want to feel when I'm driving it. And tuning it to get there is probably gonna be very difficult. Maybe it may even never reach what I'm looking for. And I just need to reset my colors and stuff really quick so things look normal in my video. We're not using, that's not gonna be our motorcycle cockpit. Don't worry about that. Although, could be kind of funny having a motorcycle with a large cockpit. But I'm gonna try, and this is probably going to backfire intensely, but we have a motorcycle seat. Like, this thing was built for motorcycles. The problem is every other functional part was not built for the dimensions of this seat. So a key control function of my motorcycle, I mean, we're gonna have to use a gyro stabilizer so we don't just tip over every single time we spawn in. But as you can see, gyro stabilizer does not center very well. And I'm also going to be using like gyros, like I'm already seeing it looking terrible unless we can, well, this one has to be on top because it's got a 3 long hitbox, and if we put it underneath, it has to go like way down here. So that's not going to work. So already it's hard. It's already hard. We're starting up. It's not easy. But let me go ahead and just start putting in the basic functionality, the requirements we need for this thing. So the reason I'm going to be using a gyro stabilizer and a gyro is because I want this thing to stay upright when I'm not doing anything, but then this gyro is going to fight against the gyro stabilizer to allow me to lean when I turn, because I do want this motorcycle to lean. One thing that is going to be nicely paired with the motorcycle seat is the motorcycle wheel, because these are one of the few wheel options that are centered. So that is actually kind of nice. So I'm thinking like a street bike style of bike. Here's the other thing that's not going to be centered is the engine. We probably only need one engine, but look at that, so frustrating. This is just going to be so, everything is just going to be misaligned unless we use bulldog, but that's not going to be fast. We need to be fast. You know what would be nice? If each of these engines just had like a toggle that would make it compatible with either a even or an odd width center point. If we're going to even, so here's what I can probably do. I can fill out or fill in the spaces that, so this is taking up, like, there's a center point right here and it's 1 away from the center point. So then I just add an equivalence to the other side. So for instance, this has a gap right here, and then this one has a gap right here. So that's kind of what I'm going for. I just feel like we're really wide, but there's literally, that's my only option. All right, is it possible to make this wheel steer? The hitboxes are not giving me a lot of room. This is the real challenge of this, is just trying to use the dimensions of this motorcycle seat as a starting point, because everything just becomes extremely difficult to fit in without messing with each other. I don't want like an offset steering though. I kind of just want like a normal steering. Okay, move this farther back. I go move this farther back. But now that this hinge is the steering hinge, the hinge point is way back in the middle, which is gonna be weird. Also, this hinge isn't attached to anything unless I move it up through the magic of choosing better parts. It is now attached. Oh, you know what? I feel like this is gonna potentially have the seat issue, but hey, as far as steering goes, that doesn't look absolutely terrible. I think maybe less of an angle, 20 degrees. That's okay. It's not perfect. Oh, what are the attachment points on the Bulldog engine? Does this have attachment points on the side? I don't use this enough. No, I don't think that actually attaches on the side. That would look so nice. All right, I think I'm gonna stick with these curved pieces for the body. Oh wait, no, this That ruins the steering. For the sake of not having parts welded to each other that shouldn't be welded to each other, I think I got to use these pipe pieces. See, this is the challenge with like tiny builds is like once you get all the essentials in, that's like the entire build, and then you have very little room for change. So if I had a rear wheel, I do feel like right there is kind of where it needs to be, isn't it? All right, this thing's looking a lot dumber than I had hoped so far. Let's see how it drives. This looks really dumb. This does look really dumb. I need a little bit stronger gyros. Let's just at least start tuning some things, see if it feels okay. I just feel it's too bulky for a street bike right now, but the thing is, I can't make it less bulky really, because all those parts are just not centered, and they can't be. All right, like this feels pretty good tuning wise. The one engine I no longer feel like is adequate for the speeds I want to be going. Why are my wheels going through the ground? I thought that issue was resolved. I actually don't think I can fit another engine in this thing unless it is a Bulldog engine and it goes right here. And go marginally faster. Whoa, these wheels are not meant for not tarmac. So I mean, this actually feels really nice. I like the feel is actually way better than I was expecting. I thought the feel was going to be the hard part, but turns out it's the aesthetic vibe that is the hard part. One thing I also wanted to try, so like this leans nicely at casual speeds, but when we're going faster and steering sharper, it doesn't really lean as much as you would want it to. However, this bike I don't think can lean very much because it has like no ground clearance. So if I leaned more, I'd probably just skid out, maybe. Yeah, see, now my wheels aren't in contact with the ground anymore. It's actually because of the pipe pieces. That's not something I can even like really change at all. Yeah, and then that causes me to actually spin out like that. Oh, a wheelie button would be cool. Where am I gonna fit that though? All right, so I feel like my seat now is a little bit too far forward. My seat needs to be more in the center. That was kind of the original plan, but this just became, I had to put more parts in and it started increasing the dimensions of the thing. All right, we got prototype number 1. I'm probably going to have to change everything in order to make small changes. It's like those puzzles where you have like all of the blocks and then there's one empty spot and you gotta like slide the blocks around to make the puzzle make the right picture. And then like you have some blocks in the right spot, but you need to get other blocks in the right spot. In order to do that, you have to mess up all the progress you made. I don't know if you guys get the reference I'm talking about, but it's what it feels like. I feel it in my soul right now. I just want to move the seat here, but in order to do that, every other piece of crucial parts have to be moved out of the way. So I'm essentially just starting over. All right, so we move that, we move that, we move the seat back. I think like right there isn't bad. Okay, so now let's, never mind about that engine for now. All right, so I gotta like this as a shape looks nice, I think, for the front, but I can't like mold it this way coming back. Yeah, that could work. All right, so I have no room for this, like 0. Anywhere I put this has to move a wheel. Doesn't fit. Oh, no, this could fit. Oh, but then I'm gonna have like a square section under there. Oh, but it might be a sacrifice that has to be made. See, I put it there, and now I got like that going on, which maybe that just needs to happen because now I can put this right here. I think it is better aesthetics a little bit, but my turning's bad, and this makes it worse now because I have these corners here instead, which then meet the ground. But if I give myself more ground clearance, I'm just gonna look weird. I'm not gonna look like a street bike at all. I don't know how people make small aesthetic things in this game, like, well. There are people that do this really, really well, but everything is getting in the way. How do you avoid this? One potential thing is just move this wheel back by 1, but then I feel like I'm way too long. I feel like I'm too long right now. I feel like I want to be just one less long, 1 block less. But I don't think I can physically like fit the parts I need if I do that. What I want to do is add a rocket thruster right there. It's probably gonna be relatively useless, but I don't know. Has an aesthetic to it. All right, so now my function is worse on the turning, but that's because I didn't change. This is too sharp right now. We need to be back at 2. Now I oversteer. That's because my weight's near my back wheel now. There are consequences to my actions, but the weights, like, could I fit a weight up front somewhere? If I got rid of my steering, I could fit a 50 kilogram weight up here. Because it has attachment points all around. But then I wouldn't have steering. I'm gonna try something. I am gonna get rid of the steering. Put the weight right there. And then now I am... What am I gonna do? I'm gonna use pistons. Alright, so now my issue is I only want the pistons to extend a little bit. But when I push the button, it's just gonna automatically go to full extension, which causes this to happen. So I might need to use logic instead. Now, do I have room for that? No, but here we go. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. All right, so when I want to steer left, I need to send a positive signal. Let's just say 0.5 out to this one. I don't actually know if this works the way... I don't know if this is a speed-based decimal or if this is a distance-based decimal. It seems like it's going to go full no matter what. 0.01. Yeah, it's a speed-based thing. I don't think the pistons can work this way. I'm not sure if there's a way to communicate to the piston to only extend a fraction of its length versus its entire length. Because I have this set to like 1/100th. And it's still doing the entire length, just slower. I feel like I figured this out in another video, but I don't remember what I did. Oh, I figured out a workaround. So instead, the start position becomes its maximum value, and then I set an output to go negative. So I'm instead contracting it from that maximum value instead of extending it to the maximum value. So that is a way that could work. So these, I'll have your starting position 0.1. So now this one, when it contracts, I will steer to the right. This one, when it contracts, I will steer to the left. And there we go. That's probably not enough. Actually, it kind of is enough. All right, we got piston steering now, and it actually works really well. All right, I came up with something interesting at least. I got something interesting from this. All right, and you may realize it's no longer oversteering because I have that 50 kilogram weight up in the front now, so it makes me way more stable. All right, I do wish, like, I can't lean any more than this. I tried it. I tried putting it up by like 1/4 strength, and it makes it so that my wheels no longer touch the ground if I lean any more than this. This looks so bad. I hate the way this looks right now. I really hate the aesthetics of this, but the functionality is like kind of there. How is this doing on aerodynamics? Pretty bad. See, like, look, I'm starting to lean more now, and I literally can't go. But it looks so cool with the character leaning. Like, that's the vibe I was going for. Too bad I can't do this at speed. Man, how do you do this? You know, I wonder if there's any motorcycles on the workshop that are kind of what I'm looking for. Let me save this for now. Let's look at the workshop. All right, I found the Ducati Panigale V4 Super Leggera, which I probably pronounced very wrong, by SO1248. Okay. What do we got going on here? Oh my goodness, that back wheel is insane. All right, this thing also leans really, really well. I mean, this thing's pretty good. This thing's pretty good. Aesthetically, it is a little bit weird still, but way better than mine. Why is it so much faster? What do you have? Oh, it has the zero drag glitch. That's why. Yeah, because we go into the build mode, it's a little weird. Oh, this has 2 wheels in the front? Why? And then it's centering the back wheel using the pistons. But we have the gyro. Oh, so you're using this to get the gyro stabilizer hidden in there. We have a dragon engine, a rocket thruster, a bulldog engine. How are you doing the leaning? There has to be a gyro in here. There's a gyro for, that's like steering gyro for like actual. Oh, there it is. There's the leaning gyro. Wow, you fit a lot of stuff in here. Oh, you also have a quantum rudder? That's interesting. I mean, this thing's just using less parts. It looks great from the front, actually. But you are using a steering gyro on the yaw axis. So when it comes to mine, I just got like too many blocks. It's not that bad, to be honest. It just doesn't, it can't steer as sharp. Mine has less ground clearance. Why? Oh, you're not using wheel steering. Is that okay? I mean, I guess if you are using gyro steering, it's okay. So there's your ground clearance. My wheels are going into the ground more. I have a flat tire. You got this big tire on the back though. So I definitely have less ground clearance. Maybe I could save some energy, in some just general space by getting rid of steering and committing to gyro steering. But I kind of I don't want to have to use piston glitching where I'm like making things glitch inside of each other. But that seems to just be like the thing for these really compact builds. But if you could do it without that, that'd just be nice. Part of me doesn't want to do it just because it's like glitchy. Like it's just like it's exploiting the game in a way it wasn't designed to be used. But the other part of me doesn't want to do it because it seems hard to plan out your build that way. But let's see what this thing feels like if I where am I gonna put it? Where am I gonna put horizontal axis gyro? I literally have no space for that. Yeah, I have actually no space for a horizontal gyro unless I put it up here. And then this is gonna make the back look even weirder. Dang, everything just sacrifices aesthetics. All right, but at least I can make the front look a little bit better with the wheels here. All right, let's see how this feels. Okay, I mean, it feels fine as far as the steering goes. It's actually feeling not too bad controllability wise. Oh boy, I took away the weight in the front, so where's my center of mass looking like now? It is a little back. The gyro does have that stabilization effect though. Can I add, I'm gonna add a bulldog engine right here just for some extra speed. Is it actually giving me extra speed? I don't know. I mean, it has to be doing something. Oh, I just remembered I wanted to add a wheelie option, which I think I can actually do. All right, so I'm gonna have to get rid of this stuff here. So space, no, yeah, space is gonna be the wheelie. Shift is going to be boost. So what kind of strength do we need for the wheelie? Oh my goodness, that might be a little bit too much. 2. Oh yeah, there we go. Ready? Wheelie button. Oh yeah. Oh, we just did a little bit of a drift as well. All right, shift for boost. Functionally, this is like getting, oh, okay. That was a little bit not very immersive the way I just slid out kind of sideways like that and stayed horizontal. I want to lean more, but I don't have the ground clearance to lean. Let me up the leaning a little bit. 2.25. Watch, this is gonna ruin everything. Just a quarter strength. Yeah, see, it does. It actually ruins everything. It makes my back end slide out a lot. I do like the wheelie button though. The wheelie button is really fun. I actually really like the wheelie button. I think that's the highlight of this now. Having a motorcycle with a wheelie button. All right, well, if 2.25 is too much, what about like, let's just dial it anymore, 2.10. Yeah, if you turn too sharp, the back end slides out because you lose traction with the ground, which I feel like is realistic for street bikes, except for the fact that the street bikes have a way larger angle that they're capable of actually turning at. Mine is like 10 degrees and then I slide out. I wish this thing could just angle like a street bike. If I was gonna do that, I probably have to build a larger scale one using not the motorcycle seat and using large wheels, in which case it would just make it a lot more of a bulky build, which maybe I can try that. We can compare, like for a follow-up video. This is my attempts to build one using small scale parts, like the motorcycle seat and the motorcycle wheels. But if I really try to build a street bike using the larger wheels, what would that look like? And could we get it to the, like this one functionally is really kind of nice to drive. Like I love this one. I actually really love just doing wheelies. And the turning isn't too bad. If you turn a little bit too much though, you tend to oversteer a little bit, but it's actually not hard to manage. It's really easy to manage actually. I wish we were a little bit faster, but you know what? The wheelie makes up for it. I'm actually surprised at how simple and controllable the wheelie is to use. Like literally, you press space, you start wheeling. If you wheelie too much, you let go a little bit. You just gotta feather it. All right, we need a nice straightaway. I kind of want to see like what is the max speed of this thing without the thruster and then with the thruster to see how much of a difference it makes. All right, 170. All right, I'm gonna use the thruster now. Oh wow, the thruster actually makes a huge difference. I'm surprised for such a tiny little thing. I'm really surprised at how much of a difference that makes. I want to do the entire drag race in wheelie mode. Ready? Here we go. It's gonna be so slow, but I'm gonna do it. I am so... Why am I so much slower when I'm wheeling? Just probably because of lack of wheel contact with the front wheel, but the back wheel is still in full contact. It's just really, really slow. I don't know. It actually doesn't make that much sense to me. I feel like I should still be going pretty fast with the one wheel in contact, but I'm really incapable of doing that. Wheelie drag race. There we go. 39 seconds. That was a 39-second wheelie. All right, so like, here's me just going straight. And then I go on to wheelie. And look at the speed just drop. All right, well, this ended up not exactly where I was wanting it to go. But I actually think the wheelie bike is a way more fun project than just a nice, realistic bike. You know what? Now, the more I look at it from this particular angle, I actually think it looks pretty good. Oh, this thing actually drives pretty well on dirt. I'm actually surprised. That looks pretty cool, too. But yeah, this particular... Every time I talk about the angle, the camera changes because I go through the starting point. But yeah, this angle doesn't look great. I think, yeah, this angle right here, I think this is the good side of the motorcycle. I think it looks pretty good from here. Oh boy. So yeah, if you want to see a follow-up video where I try to build a larger version, so I'll have more room for detail. Things will fit better. Things will fit more symmetrically. But things will be a lot bulkier and slower probably as far as just like the amount of power we're going to need to make things move. I don't know if wheeling is going to be as easy. Like turning while wheeling is cool too. But let me know if you want to see that down in the comments below. But, oh, hold on. I'm not happy with this right now. There's, how did this happen? Missed one thing. Here we go. Just gotta fill this in there. There we go. Now it's filled in. That was probably holding us back speed-wise a little bit. There's some aerodynamic issues in there. Is this gonna be good aesthetically or not? I think it looks okay. It's asymmetrical, but... What are you gonna do? All right, yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this video, then let me know if you want to see a follow-up with larger motorcycle. And you'll probably enjoy some more content that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.